Hello everyone, welcome back to Mary's Little House of Centerville, Illinois. Peanut and I wish to greet you today on this. It's sort of overcast and starting to rain, but, but Peanut's here to take his afternoon nap on my lap as I put him to sleep with my words. Oh, I'd like to introduce another one of our team here. This is Tiny Bear. It's marvelous. He's so tiny. See him? Could be in the palm of my hand. He's laying down now. But anyway, all his limbs move. He's very tiny. He's a little fuzzy. He even has a little cord, a little a tie around his neck for a little enhancement. But he's so tiny. Whoever made these things are so beautiful. I have a lot of miniatures. They're so intricate and delicate, and I can't believe how the work of humankind, the work of human hands. So I celebrate Tiny. Tiny, you want to put your face, your hands up here? Can you see Tiny? He's just very, very small. He's just very small. Now you can put your hands down. You can see your face. See, that's Tiny. This is Tiny Bear. Wilbur, the bear with the sweater, and Serena, the bear with the bow, is in my room on my desk waiting to appear some other video. But I wanted to introduce you to Teeny Bear. Tiny Bear, Tiny Bear. Okay, we'll sit there. There. Today's October 1st, the feast of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus of the Holy Face. That's a long name, but she had a great devotion to the Holy Face. Here's an icon one of our members gave us from Jeffersonville, Indiana. She sent it to us. She knows how much our founder Cindy loves Therese of the Child Jesus, and how much her poor co-founder loved her too. I won't mention his name. Anyway, she sent this because it's an icon, like an icon of the icons of the East of the Therese, and then she's got two other icons below: the Child Jesus. Oh, excuse me, the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. She had a great devotion to both of them, to Jesus's childhood and to his Holy Face, which is his passion. She had an image like this. The veil of Veronica. Remember the seventh station, I think. Let's see. Anyway, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. The sixth station, I think it is. The sixth station. I'm not sure about the station, but anyway, this is the veil of Veronica. This is it. It's Sacra Voltus Dominus Nostri Jesu Christi, a true effigy or true image of the holy face or the holy countenance of our Lord Jesus Christ, which is in Rome, Quaes Rome in Sacrosanta and Basilica Sancti Petri in Vaticano, religiosime servatur et collator, religiously venerated and collator. I don't know what that means, but anyway, religiously venerated in the Vatican, in the St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. This is the face that Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and of the Holy Face venerated. It's an image of Veronica's veil, which is in the Vatican. Okay, so now you know why she has such a long religious name. She had a great devotion to the infancy of Jesus, the child Jesus, St. Therese of the Child Jesus, the infancy of Jesus, and at the other end, his passion. Because this, as you see, this is his passion. When Veronica on the way to the cross went through the Roman soldiers. She was feisty gal, like like you women are. You love. You don't care about Roman soldiers and all. You just go right to the heart of things, from your heart to love. Love is the most important. And Veronica wiped the face of Jesus, and this is what we got. Veronica's. This is the image, of course. Veronica's veil. You see the wounds and everything. This is what Jesus left on Veronica's veil. So Jesus likes feisty women, because here she did that heroically, going through all those Roman soldiers to get to Jesus as he was carrying his cross to Calvary, and Jesus left his image on it. That says, Veronica, I really approve this kind of love, heroic love. God bless you. Okay, well, anyway, Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and of the Holy Face, and that's the Holy Face, the image. Now, I when I get up in the morning, I pray before the Holy Face of image of the shroud of Turin, the shroud that you'll see all the time in my on my reflections. I always put that down on the bottom of all my reflections, the Holy Face of Jesus, the image of Jesus in the Holy Shroud. So there's two beautiful images, from Veronica's veil and from the Shroud of Turin. Okay, you know, he's really wonderful. Therese, she I can't believe her, you know. First of all, look at this. She's a co-patron of the missions, of the church's missions. She never even went out of her cloister. But she did write. She had two brother missionaries. She wrote them and encouraged them and offered her sufferings for them. And she's co-patron with St. Francis Xavier, who went to the East, went to Japan and China and Taiwan, all those places there, and did great amount of work as a missionary. But Therese never went anywhere except to stay in her little convent of Lisieux in France. But she prayed. He prayed for all the church. She says, my vocation is love. It's right in the heart of the church. And she says the missionaries can't preach without God's graces. So I'm throbbing all the love, all the graces by my prayers and sacrifices. And she supported the two missionaries lovingly, two brothers. She called them her brothers, in their work, in their heroic work, in the missions, in the very difficult missions. So she's co-patron. So here she is, a missionary, didn't even go to the missions. And the other thing is, she's a doctor of the church. I think in 1995, Blessed John Paul II proclaimed her a doctor of the church. Now, I have a Master of Divinity. She didn't have a Master of Divinity. And here she's a doctor of the church. A doctor of the church, you know what it means? That means that their writings, the writings are good for the whole universal church and for all time. They're perennial. They're classic. What's she doing with being doctor of the church? She doesn't have a Master of Divinity or a doctor of theology, but the world, the church recognizes the insight that she had into spirituality. At her time, spirituality was very. You had to do great sacrifices and things. Wear hair shirts and all kinds of things. In fact, she was at her convent. That's what was in vogue at the time. What was in practice. They gave her a cross with points on it to wear on her chest, and she couldn't do it. She tried. She was getting sick. So she saw all these efforts to be holy by doing all these very extraordinary penances. But she recognized that this is that God is not calling us to those things, and we're not knocking them or saying there are people who are called to those kinds of penances, but that has to be very discerned by with their spiritual director. But she had this insight, the little way of spiritual childhood. So let me go. You'll see what I mean. How she had become the saint. How she gave this insight to the church. How she became a doctor of the church with no theology, no certificate on her, on her cell wall. Okay, here we go. The little Marian way of spiritual child. The little way of spiritual child. The little way of spiritual childhood of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. A summary. Three things. Everything is a grace. I'm just summarizing it. Everything that happens, you're listening or viewing this YouTube, is a grace. I hope it is. I know it is. Even though I'm making all kinds of mistakes and everything, you probably practice a lot of patience. Everything is a grace. God is revealing Himself right now in your life. The moment is our contact with God. He is showing His love, His presence, His will for us to suffer this or to do this task. Everything is a grace. And she saw that. She lived that life, always encountering God and responding in obedience, in humility, in humble service, in love. Everything is a grace. Let's remember that. We'll come back to those. Okay, number one. Everything is a grace. Number two, a childlike trust in God. She is so wonderful. She trusted God no matter how things were, and we'll see how her sufferings, how she had to trust in God. I have this book here, one of my books of my life. Besides the book, besides the book of her story of a soul. If you want to read a spiritual classic, the thing that changed my life and many other people in the church, it just became very famous when she died. These were just notes that her big sister, Pauline, who was the abbess at the time of the thing, asked her to write about her life, and it was just for her. But then Pauline collected these, and they were published, and they were translated in about every language in the world. But anyway, this book by Father Paul de Xavier, a Society of Jesus, a Jesuit, on the virtue of trust, he talks about the virtue of trust. It's so needed today, the virtue of trust. And he says in a whole chapter how Therese of the Child Jesus is the saint of trust. I just love this book. This is not the same one I wore out, but this is the book that affirms Therese as the saint of trust. Okay, so childlike trust in the Eternal Father, in God the Father, and she uses the image of a child in her father's arms sleeping. The child's not worried if somebody's going to hurt her or anything. She's the child is totally surrendered in sleep and awake too, knowing that she's protected, she's covered. The Father loves her and will answer every need. So childlike trust in the Father. Okay, that's number two. Number three, it's sort of a fun way of putting it. To love. Remember, St. John says, God is love, and he who abides in love abides in God. Okay, but God is love. So love here is with capital letters. To love, L-O-V-E, capital letters. That's God. God is love. To love, to be loved by love, to let God love, you have to trust Him totally and completely. To be loved by God, by love, and to make love loved. To make God loved. God is love. Well, we'll unpack all these. Okay, 1, everything is a grace. 2, childlike trust in the Eternal Father. 3, to love God above all things, and she did. She wanted to give herself totally, nothing left of her, and to be loved by God, to let God love her, to completely surrender to Him, completely trust in His will, what He is doing in her life, even though it's hard, it's sometimes difficult, and to make love loved. And that was her missionary outreach to all the world. She wanted to make love loved, and throughout the whole church, she had the vocation of love, and she was going to be the heart. in the heart of the church, not a missionary out there proclaiming the word, not a doctor healing the bodies of the sick, not a warrior like Joan of Arc. She loved to defend the church, to defend France. No, she's going to be right here in the mystical body in love. And so she wanted the whole world to know God and know how much He loves us. So she said to make love loved, or that's the way I put it, or the people that helped me with it. Okay, everything is a grace. I just mentioned that. So each moment, this moment you're listening to me, it's a grace. It's God working in us, and God asks us to be attentive, not to be nervous attentive, but just to be, I think like a dance, like. God is dancing with us, the Lord of the dance. And anyway, so He's leading us. So just to go with the music of the Holy Spirit, the movements of the Holy Spirit, with the Father. I think of the spotlight with the bride and the daddy. I always cry at those things, at the reception when the daddy dances with his daughter. Anyway, the Father wants to dance with you and dance with all of us, and we'll let Him dance. Every moment it's an eternal dance. It's a dance till the day we die, and a dance in heaven with the Father. Let Him lead us. Let Him hold our waist and our right hand it was a left hand too, but to lead us and guide us in our work and in all we do, fulfilling our mission here on earth. So the Father, everything is a grace. So even the stuff that is pretty tough, and that's okay. I always tell people our sadness isn't our hard times. It's not trusting in God. It's not seeing that this is of God. Our nation is going through so much, and there's so many people who are so anxious about our nation. We're just slipping down a slippery slope without our strong moral moorings, our strong anchor in love. But God is with us in this time. So all our anguish, all our concern about our country and about the election, we have to trust God. God is working through all of it. He's got everything in control. All we have to do is our part, and our prayers, our offering our sufferings, and voting and getting out whatever all the activity that we might be called to do. And after that, we trust God. So childlike trust in God in everything. Okay, and then to love. Yes, to do everything with love. It's no fun to do anything without love. It's just a big burden, and it's no fun. But when you do it, we say that in love there's no labor. To love God, to please Him. She, like a little child, wants to bring the flowers to little. Clovers and dandelions that's probably all we feel like we could give God, but God is so pleased, and He makes such a to-do over our dandelions and our clovers. Oh, and to be loved by love, to let God love us. I always tell people, stop running, turn around. God's right after you. If He's running after you like the hound of heaven, I always think God's running after me because I feel so unworthy and everything. And I'm running away, and God's running after me, the Eternal Father, and I stop without Him seeing me stop, and He plows right into me, and He embraces me and hurls me around with abandonment on the face of the earth with love, and I surrender myself to be hurled around with my feet all around like that. Anyway, to make love. That's the gospel. That's what our mission angels, blow your trumpet. We got a mission to spread the good news that Jesus, that God so loved the world, He sent us Jesus to save us and to die upon the cross and to rise from the dead. All the stuff we're going through in our country, all our family problems, all where the kids are going, it's going to be all right because we trust God. God will like our beloved Benedict XVI said, God hears every cry that we call upon Him. God hears us. So trust in that. And so everything is a grace. Everything that's happening right now. Peanut sitting on my lap, and the little flower here, her birth feast day. Everything is a grace. this moment's a grace. Each moment's a gift of the Father arranged by the Mother. The Father is the source of all graces, and Blessed Mother is arranging this YouTube visit with you. I am so glad. Let me see what I'm losing time. Maybe I couldn't get my thing. Holy catfish! I have to. Never win this song before. God, this is the record. God bless you. Happy feast day of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus, Virgin and Doctor of a Church, and patron saint, co-patron of the missions.